In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a yarn ball that is very easy to knit from. This example is not a center pull ball, but I'll talk a little bit about how to make a center pull ball. The instructions in the rest of the video will be just for making a simple yarn cake that sits flat and you can pull from the outside. So the first step when winding your yarn, if you're coming off of a skein, is you want to put your skein around something that's sturdy. You could put it around your knees, you could wrap it around the back of a chair, but you just want easy access to your yarn strand to begin making your ball. Step one is what I call creating a small butterfly. You're going to wrap the yarn around your thumb and make the end long enough that you can kind of hang on with your thumb against your palm, and then you're going to wrap it around your pinky, cross back over and around your thumb, pinky, cross behind your thumb, behind your pinky, and you just keep doing that. I do it about 8 to 10 times, and that's creating this little butterfly that you can see if I pull it off my fingers. So that butterfly step controls whether or not you make a center pull ball. If you did want to make it a center pull ball, you could wrap the short end of the yarn around your thumb a couple of times. Leave a short length, wrap it around your thumb a couple of times, and then this end is going to stick out of your ball to be a center pull. But then you just do the same butterfly step behind your pinky, behind your thumb. Do that 6 or 8 times. Then you take that butterfly off your thumb and pinky, and I just like to pinch it together. Now I'm not going to make a center pull here, but you pinch it together, and if you wanted a center pull, just make sure you have a small end sticking out at all times. If you don't need a center pull, just tuck this in. This all becomes the middle of your yarn cake. And then what I do is I put the yarn bundle kind of under my thumb, and I start wrapping around my thumb, just around my thumbnail. Straight across wrapping, and usually what I'll do is I'll tuck the yarn over and I continue wrapping around my thumb. Now once you've got a little bit going, I have a small nugget here. This is where the shaping of your ball begins. I wrap my ball or create my cake by starting a series of diagonal wraps. So I'm going to wrap diagonally across my thumb, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And then I'm going to rotate this tiny ball just a little bit, like a quarter turn, and then start again, wrapping on the diagonal 6 or 8 times. Another quarter turn, wrap diagonal. Now when it's at this small stage, don't need to be too particular about how many wraps each time, but you'll notice that as I keep wrapping on the diagonal and turning about a quarter turn, I'm keeping my thumbnail inside there on purpose. I want to create a small hole in this yarn cake. That's part of the steps that make it flat. So you'll see if I pull my thumb out, there's a little hole there already forming, and we're starting to form a small yarn cake. Stick my thumb back in there because it makes a nice, easy spot to hold the ball while I turn it and do my diagonal wraps. I do 6 or 8 there, turn and wrap. I think you get the idea now. Turn and wrap diagonally. Now, in the next part of the video, I'm going to show you specifically what makes a nice flat yarn cake versus a ball that's rounded and will just kind of wobble all around. We're going to make sure that this turns out to be a nice flat cake. I end up using my thumb as kind of like a nostipinna. If you've seen a nostipinna, it's kind of a long, usually it's a tool that's long made out of wood. Kind of like a short, thick stick that you can wind your yarn ball around. And I sort of use my thumb as a natural nostipinna. So at some point, after every 3 or 4 rounds of diagonal winding, I'll sit the ball like this, and I will wind around the middle. So this is just going straight around the middle of the ball. And the more you do that, the flatter it becomes. And it's really easy to have it sit and disperse your yarn while you're knitting. Well, that's how I do that. Are you a fan of hand winding? Let me know in the comments.